Good morning. I'm Karen Dumont with KariePatch Designs, and what I'd like to demo to you this morning is my Prairie points, and I'm going to use the ones that are used in my surprise pattern. I have many other patterns that I use Prairie points in, and they all require the same method of making no matter what the size. So in this, for each block, I'm going to need 4 Prairie points. And I've already done some of the prep work. I have taken, I need four Prairie points in opposing colors. You take and put right sides together. As you can see, I've already taken my 1/4 inch seam. I've taken, and in this case, I have taken and pressed my seams. 2 of them I've pressed towards the dark and 2 of them towards the light. So at this point, this is what they're going to look like. And I'm going to take and I decide which is going to be on the outside and which is going to be on the inside. So in this case, I have 2 that I want on the outside, and I always decide, I press towards the side that's going to be on the outside. I'm going to take the inside one and turn it down approximately 1/8 inch. You can see how I've done that. I'm going to come with my iron and do a press. In my iron, I have it on the highest temperature and a lot of steam. You can use, and I'm not comfortable and never do this, you can use spray starch or Mary Ellen's breast press, or even just water is what I have done. I've obviously made hundreds, if not several thousand of these, so I can usually go fairly fast. Now that I have that portion of it pressed, I'm going to come back, and at my ironing board, I'm going to, this is the inside, the yellow is the inside right now, and I'm going to bring these 2 together towards, I'm going to hold my finger down and take my iron and press it real well. Here, I'm going to do the same thing. And everybody may not be comfortable in doing what I just have done, but it saves me a little time. You can see what a nice flat press I have by just leaving it on there for maybe 10 or 15 seconds. Okay, so I have my 4 Prairie points ready to go. Sometimes I come back over, and you can see the raw edges that I have here. So we need to get rid of that, and we're going to come over here to the cutting board. And I usually do several at a time depending upon the size. Let me just do one at a time right now. I'm going to put my point on one of the lines here. I've read my pattern, and in this particular case, I have to trim this to 3 1/4 inches. So I'll put my 1/4 inch on here. That's 3 1/4. I hold my thing down, and now I've got my finished Prairie point. Because I have spent time and done a good press, this is laying nice and flat. If yours does not, you may want to do one of 2 things. You can come back and press it again, use your spray starch or Ellen's Best Press, or you can go to your sewing machine and run do a running stitch down the side. At this point, we're ready to put our Prairie points onto the block. So I've just to make it easy, the inside of my surprise block, I'm going to, oops, I have a few more that I have to cut. Okay. I'm going to want 2 of each on this. Three and a quarter. I need to replace my blade. That's life in the quilt world, isn't it? Okay, here we go. So now I'm going to just take these. This is a 6.5 inch block that I'm laying on. I'm going to lay them down here loosely. And you have to kind of play with this a little bit. You can see that one's nice and straight. This one has a little extra to it. That's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. Lay that right down there. And see how nicely that fits on there? So at this point, if you want, you can pin it. I just took it to my sewing table, and I did a quick stitch around it, a running stitch, and now it's waiting for the sashing to go on. And you have your prairie points and your surprise block. Thank you very much.